Hello. We are starting a new section today within the tutorials. So I'm going to get that up. We're still within movement, but now we're moving on to moving the ground. I kind of covered this at the end of the last stream about like my confusion about that idea, like why this has to be a whole tutorial. And apparently this is a somewhat shorter one. But I think this can kind of illustrate why this is necessary. I set the thing I set up yesterday for it to just slide back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually do jump onto it, you just kind of slide off. So I'm assuming he's going to address that in this. While I have this open though, I could show off a little bit. I did a little bit of polishing on the jump system, so you could see all my booleans are up on the top left displayed. I guess it's hidden by the webcam, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. But I basically set it up so that when you hit is jumping, it will stay on for like half a second. That way, if I jump and then right now I want to jump again, I have a little bit of a buffer there. Whereas before, if I jumped and then hit space right there, it would have missed that input completely. But now I can keep doing that. There was also this weird system where if I just held space, I could just keep jumping over and over infinitely. And that's not really how you'd expect that to work, so I trimmed that out. And then I also set it up so that your ability to jump... So I have the on-ground buffer set up so that it's how long until you blend into the fall trends animation. And that's just to prevent like small bumps triggering the falling animation, like just walking over a little hill or something like that. Again, it's just like a little bit of a buffer there. But I set it up so that my jump is also on that same cooldown, meaning that if I walk off the edge and then hit jump, there's a little bit of a like forgiveness there. So you could jump a little bit off the edge, which I think is generally a good platforming kind of rule. And if that ends up being too generous, I can adjust that here with on-ground buffer and jump buffer. But I could also set, because right now on-ground buffer and the buffer that determines how long until I can jump after I go off the ledge, those are currently the same variable. And I think that's fine for now, but I might break those into two separate ones down the road. Oh, there's a problem. How did that just happen? Maybe there's a problem with rigid bodies being detected as ground? That was weird. Well, maybe I'll roll back the tape on that one and see exactly what caused that and try to look into it. But still, just polishing. Just getting little things here and there. So yeah, we could get started unless you have anything you wanted to catch up, just for the record.
I'm trying out the box script and it's not working.
The box
Two of these sliders aren't working. The gravity box from yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh yeah. What kind of errors are you getting?
Not errors, but it's not drawing the gizmos for the outer distance.
So the individual blue squares, or just all of them?
I can control the inner distance and inner fall off distance. But that's it. The outer distance isn't changing.
Huh. Let me see if mine is still working. And then if so, I could use that to help you, hopefully. And just make sure I didn't fuck anything up. So wait, what mode is it in right now? It's in inside out form. So I'll walk on the inside edge of it. I still gotta jump. Oh, yeah. What happened? What is causing that? I just got it to happen again. Interesting. At least I have a consistent way to replicate that now. If I jump into the wall like that. Maybe it's something to do with is on slope? I don't know. whatever. Either way, if I just jump over it, that makes it work. So yeah, what's... you don't have any error codes or anything?
No. No. I'm trying to just find where this outer distance is even. If outer fall off distance is greater than outer distance.
So you want me to bring up my gravity box script? I also figured out how to zoom. It's Control plus.
Oh, nice.
So I can do that within Visual Studio Code now. Yeah, you were looking at the draw outer cube or whatever?
The outer distance and outer fall off.
Okay, so it's defined as a serialized field, default is 0. Then in onValidate, it's used in outer fall off distance as the second argument in mathf max. I'm talking about outer distance right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want outer distance and outer fall off distance?
Does it maybe could you scroll to where I just scroll to the bottom, I think is where it would be.
I mean, that's to be determined how I structured my code, though, right?
Yeah, I figured it would be at the bottom though. It's the if outer distance greater than 0, and then there's like 4 of them.
If inner fall off distance is greater than inner distance, if inner distance is greater than 0, if outer distance is greater than 0, if outer fall off distance is greater than outer distance. Just everything in draw gizmos,
yeah.
basically.
I guess this is. Oh yeah, I must have. Yeah, I think I put it in the wrong spot.
Oh, it's supposed to be in draw gizmos, and you put it in somewhere else.
Or wait, so what's in draw gizmo's outer cube actually?
Draw gizmos outer cube.
Yeah.
It's all these AY equals BY equals boundary distance dot Y.
Oh, okay. Could you go to the bottom of that? What's the last line?
Distance equals distance times 0.5, blah blah blah. Vector 3 size equals boundary distance. Size dot x equals 2f times size x plus distance. Size y equals same thing. Size z equals same thing. Gizmos dot draw wire cube.
Yeah, I must not have saved or something.
I can send you this script.
I think I know what I'm missing.
Okay.
I'll just copy it over real quick.
Yeah, it's weird that like your script and Unity are kind of like on different planes of existence, kind of like you can save in one and then don't save in the other one, and then when you come back they'll be like conflicting with each other when everything was working perfect before.
Yeah,
it's a little frustrating. Okay, I want to figure out, in the meantime, I want to do a little bit of investigating on why this is happening. It's going to... Whoa. Okay, so it's currently is sprinting and is on ground, but it won't leave. Oh, I guess it's just because there's no... Oh, nice, okay. Well, still, do you have the blue one on the outside too? Yeah, there it is, okay. I think I know why this is happening. I don't have a... All of my outs from the jump start assume that you're not on the ground, which I guess is a pretty reasonable assumption, but maybe I should put one that just goes straight from start to land in case you just jump and instantly still stay on the ground. I think that's the issue.
Makes sense.
I guess I'll just do that right now. That can't be too hard. So if is on ground, is true, then go straight to the landing. If is on ground is true, straight to the landing. Let's see if that fixes that. Yeah, I think it did. I mean, that's still there, but that's not really an animation problem. That's like a systems problem. I think my fix to that, I would just put an invisible, like, triangle thing on the inside corner that only the player interacts with, that you would just walk up. Do you know what I mean? Just to cover those corners. Because getting in the actual corner is like a pain.
I think this is working.
Do you have multiple gravity sources on, or is it just the one?
I have the planets on too.
Oh, okay. As long as you're out of its radius, I guess it's fine. I had the problem of my main gravity one was still on, so I was like at a little bit of an angle for everything. Do you think there's a way within Pro Builder for me to say, like, these different faces have different materials?
I think you can do multiple materials. Like, I think it works the same way as Blender, where you like set the materials in Blender on different faces. Oh, but I'm sorry, but you said Pro Builder. I was thinking
Well, I mean,
generically.
in any, I guess, yeah. I'm not strictly married to Pro Builder. Just whatever. Is there a way
Yeah,
in Unity
I
for
don't
me
know
to
how.
say this face should be blue?
I don't know actually about. Well, I guess I could. I kind of know how you would do it in code. Maybe there's a better way to, or like a built-in way.
Well, you can make multiple materials on the mesh renderer, I guess. But I don't know if that would be, like, beneficial. Like, I don't know how to limit it to, like, only one face.
Yeah, if you in Blender, when you like, you know how you can have like multiple materials and just set them to specific faces?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that carries over.
So if I just put it into Blender, make multiple things, then put it back, kind of deal.
Maybe, but I don't know about how you get Pro Builder stuff out of Unity.
Well, that definitely seems like a pretty safe bet of how to do it. I was just hoping there was like an integrated way, but yeah, I could probably do that. All right, you want to get started
You
then?
can get the faces from the mesh and like set. There's like you can do it in code, but that's the only other way I know how. I am ready
to get
though.
going though. Yeah. Okay. Moving the ground, going for a ride. So this one seems to be a little shorter, like you said, but it still seems very interesting. So we're gonna create animating platforms, keep track of connected bodies, try and stay relatively still, and support an orbiting connection point. Okay, so try to stay relatively still is my problem that I was having, right?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't want to spoil it or anything, but
Yeah.
I think he solves that problem of, like
Just
constantly
sliding out
going
from
into the
under you.
fall. Well, the like constantly going into the fall animation from like little hops.
Oh, well, I already kind of fixed that, but wait.
Well, I was gonna say I think he has his way of doing it as well.
Oh, okay. I'll be interested to see that. It's just weird, like, he doesn't have any animations. Why would he do that?
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I hope so. That'd be nice if there's like a more elegant way. I mean, I don't think my way is necessarily bad, but I kind of just made it up, so that makes me think that it's probably bad. All right.
Well, we'll see. I think it'll be, at least it'll have something to do with the other stuff we're doing
Okay.
in this part of it.
This is the 7th installment of a tutorial series about controlling the movement of a character. It deals with the challenges of standing on and navigating over terrain that is in motion. Number 1, animating geometry. There are multiple ways to make geometry move. We could create a script that adjusts an object's transformation. We could use Unity's animation system to animate it instead. We could also program our own playable graph and create an animation that way, or we could rely on physics and let an object move in response to external forces and collisions. In all cases, we have to make sure that terrain and obstacles that are in motion play nice with physics, our moving sphere, and our orbit camera. For this tutorial, we'll use Unity's animation system to create simple animations in the editor. We can do that via the animation window, which can be opened via Window, Animation, Animation. If you have an object selected that doesn't have an animator component yet, then the window will display a button that allows you to add the component and immediately create a new animation for it. I made a simple square platform named Up Down and then created a new animation clip for it named Up Down Animation. The animation is a new asset, but presenting the Create button creates another asset as well, which I renamed to Up Down Controller. This is an animation controller asset that's needed to run animations. It can be used to create complex blend trees and animation state machines, but we don't have to deal with all that. We don't have to deal with that if all we need is a single animation clip. I put both in a new animation folder. The animator component that was added to the platform object is automatically set to use the new controller asset. We can initially leave all its other configuration options at their default values. Also give the object a rigid body component with isKinematic enabled because it's a dynamic physics object. While this isn't strictly necessary, it makes sure that all the interactions work as expected. So that is one thing that I don't have on my system. So let me go get that situated. I also should put my player back in the little world here.
I thought of a good puzzle just now.
Oh yeah?
You can use the gravity to get up the tower using what we originally kind of it's kind of an inconvenience to fly off the edge, but if you go from underneath you can get a huge jump, gravity swing off of it.
Ooh. We just got started. We're just picking right up on moving the ground. So that whole thing I said yesterday about this thing, how I have a platform that slides back and forth, but if I just stand still it slides out from under me. So he's gonna just show a smarter way to do that system. Right now I noticed that he added a rigid body to his, and I didn't do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. He also made it kinematic. Let's see if that changes anything right off. No, not really. But I guess it just ensures that it'll knock stuff over, like physics objects and shit like that. Actually, I wonder if physics objects will just slide off of it too. Let's see.
I was thinking today if it just if it is possible just to turn up the friction and have that work, or if that'll still mess up.
That's not a bad idea. I'll try that right after I try this. Just do a little bit of experimenting before we move on. I'm down with that. Okay, yeah, the rigid body just slides as well. But let's go to... I have, what is it called? A material for my character. My character's rigid body.
Physics material?
Yeah, physics material. Where is that actually? I thought that was under the rigid body, but... Oh, it goes on the capsule collider, I guess. Okay, so let's put friction to, I don't know, I guess maximum?
Static friction and dynamic friction. Yeah, but I guess static's more important.
Well, do I turn them up and also do this? Like, should I take this off of minimum? I guess I'll see.
Oh yeah, do maximum.
I'll just do 5, see if that changes anything. I feel slower for sure. That was like a slower start. Nah, it didn't change anything.
Wow.
Whoa. Do you see that though?
Yes.
Let's do 50. I might not even be able to move with this. Yeah, I just can't move. Too much friction. Okay, well, whatever. Let's put that back to how it was. That was definitely maybe if, here I'm gonna have my character start on top of it, and then put the friction stupidly high, and then if there's still no sign of it, of any movement, then we know for sure that that's not a legit route, I'd say. Yeah, that doesn't change anything. Okay.
So does that mean, when he was talking about physics, does that mean the animation system is like separate from physics?
Well, maybe, I guess so, but I think what made it, I think putting the rigid body is what tied it together. But that's weird because like it does have collision even without the rigid body, right? Like I was already jumping on it. I'm gonna remove that and then I'm gonna see if my like other rigid bodies like fall through it or something like that. Oh, yeah,
Well, this
they
part,
still interact with it.
this section is it's not till 1.3. Right now we're doing up and down. But I guess that's just for, yeah, that is just for to like show how to do it basically.
Okay, well, I put the rigid. I guess he did say it's not necessarily, it's not like really necessary. But I feel like I think when you make something in Pro Builder, it like already has collision like automatically.
Yeah, it puts the rigid body on it.
So like it didn't put a rigid body like automatically on it, but it like acts like it has a rigid body, I guess. I don't know.
It didn't?
No, I had to put that rigid body on myself.
Oh no, yeah, it's not rigid body, it's mesh collider.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Collider.
Okay. But it's just like, why are we putting a rigid body on it if it already has collision, I guess? Like, what's the point of it having a rigid body? I'm not sure. He does say it's not strictly necessary, so I guess it's not really worth worrying about. I'll just put it on there and see what happens. To make an animation clip, I mean, we already know how to do this part, right? Do you want us to run through this still?
Sorry, say it again.
I think we already know this part. Do you want to run through this still?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Because he's gonna, there's some stuff that I haven't seen. Just like browsing through it really quickly.
To make the animation clip do something, you must have the relevant object selected in the scene. The animation window will display our animation clip on the left, below the timeline control buttons. Press the record button, the red dot, then select a desired moment in the timeline bar on the right. You can zoom to reach areas that are currently not visible. Then adjust the object's transformation, either via the inspector or the scene view. This will create a keyframe with the new configuration. For example, I changed the Y position from 0 to 3 at the 2-second point and then back to 0 at 4 seconds. Then I turned off recording. At this point, it is possible to preview the animation. It will also automatically play and loop after entering play mode. By default, Unity smooths the animation by easing in and out of transitions. You can control this exact behavior by switching from dope sheet to curves mode via the toggle options at the bottom of the animation window. That's new. But yeah, are you gonna get a platform set up?
Yeah, sorry, this is I wish I could fix this pro build thing
Oh,
where it
where it
always puts
spawns
it
like
so
hella
far
far.
away.
This is weird. My curve is so subtle. I wonder if can I zoom in like on an X, or like I'm not X, I guess, on specific like only the Y axis, I guess. That'd be
Maybe.
nice.
You could probably stretch, right?
Or maybe it's oh, this is probably the real curve. Never mind, I see it now. It's still pretty subtle though. Okay. Oh, whoa. You can have make it have like a bit of bounciness. Oh. Interesting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm at curves now.
I have it set up to, you can have it move really like robotically and statically, or you could have it do the like natural kind of curving thing. That is, I'm glad I played with this. This is helpful. Because now this is how I would have it move if it was like a machine. But if it's just like a cloud or something silly like that, I feel like it would be that more floaty, smooth movement. Tara. Did that get picked up by the mic?
Yeah, it was pretty quiet though. Oh, I think if you press A, it stretches out the the curve for you.
Do I like click or something?
Like zoom out and then press A.
Oh, it just like focuses.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, and then if you drag the like ends, it
Oh,
stretches
that's okay. Good find. That's the ticket. So I wonder I could just add all these little like janky bits, make it all jittery on its way too. Stupid.
Mine's going way too fast.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that
I
time
thought these
scale
were
right.
I thought these were seconds, but they're frames, right?
I think
No,
it.
they are seconds. It
Yeah.
goes to 60. That is not 30 seconds.
That's it. Yeah,
Loop,
that's not 30
loop,
seconds.
loop, loop, Loop,
It's gotta be
loop, loop.
something else, right?
It goes to 60. Is it milliseconds, you think?
Maybe.
No, milliseconds go to 1,000, right?
Oh, it is frames, I think. Well, no, it's your
Oh, 60
frames.
frames.
It's your frames counted as a time, I think.
Ugh,
It like rolls over like a time, but it's your frames.
that's annoying.
That's bizarre.
But I guess it makes sense if you're aiming for 60 frames.
I guess yeah, 60 frames a second, so it is just your seconds, essentially.
And then you'd see it as like first frame, second frame, or first 60 frames.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know. Time scale in animation is the thing that always fucks me up.
Oh well, I guess it is seconds. Yeah, because one colon 00 is 1 second, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the sub ones are like milliseconds or whatever.
I guess I just always thought milliseconds went to 1,000, but they go to 60.
Well, I mean, you could scroll out and it goes like infinite. If you keep scrolling out, it just keeps going.
What do you, it goes from 50 to 1
What do you where?
in the same, like here. I do, well, I do think that these are seconds. Like 1 is 1 second. That feels like it makes sense. I cannot get it
What
to
do you mean
stretch.
by it should have been 1,000 or whatever, like 1,000 milliseconds though?
Aren't milliseconds, don't they go from 0 to 1,000 and then it's 1 second? Isn't a second a
Oh,
thousand
you mean like
milliseconds?
between 0 and 1?
Yeah.
Um,
Like I didn't think
Maybe
milliseconds rolled
millisecond
over.
isn't the right term then. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
megasecond or something stupid like that.
I'll learn it at some point.
Microsecond. Because it
Yeah,
rolls
it's
over at
doing
60, like a minute.
yeah, it's doing 60 frames.
Yeah, okay. So, do you have your animation going then?
Yeah, I think so. It's weird. I can't control it now.
I gotta get this wall run thing. I should have just turned it off before this. It's so jank. It like does not work right now. A wall run is like a way more awkward thing to animate than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know
I
what the
was thinking
fuck to
about that
do.
today actually. You gotta watch Naruto.
I was looking at how Cloud Built does it, but the proportions of that character are so different that it's like hard to know if that's even really helpful. It's like, do I want to interpret it as she's literally running on the wall sideways, or is it like, because in my mind it's like this kind of deal, but that just looks so fucking awkward.
Well, yeah, you need something to hold you against the wall. Unless, like, you have to just add up the forces somehow. But those forces could come from your core. I think the problem is that her stomach isn't bent at all.
See, I originally had it and her stomach was like way too bent, and I like toned it back down. So I probably should have stuck with that. She had like this crazy arch, and I thought that would look awkward, but
Yeah, I think, like, she probably...
I clearly was wrong about that because this looks super awkward too.
I think the thing is like, maybe she wouldn't necessarily keep her head, like, pretty much level with before, like, maybe wall running is you keep your head sideways.
Oh yeah, maybe. I did. Yeah, that's a good point.
Honestly, that might be what it is, because if you're running on the wall, you probably are thinking of it as like a floor.
Yeah, I got a little too focused on keeping her head level. Either way, I need to mess with it more, and then I also need to make it. I need to make a variance of it, you know, where it's like you jump off of the wall. I need to make one for when you're facing the wall. One, and I need to find a check to like, how do I check which way you're on the wall? Like I don't know, whatever. That's a whole thing of its own. Let's move on. Animation timing. Our sphere can already jump on the platform and move along with it as it gets pushed upwards and falls along with the vertical movement of the platform. But the timing of the interaction isn't correct by default. This is most obvious when setting focus radius of our orbit camera to 0, so it rigidly moves with the sphere. Yeah, and you could see it kind of jitters a little bit. I guess I should have experimented with that too. Here, I'm going to add a little bit of Y movement as well. Let's see how that feels. Oh, that's way too much. There you go. That's weird. It moves rigidly on the x-axis, but smoothly on the y-axis. That's kind of a... I guess it's not that weird. I should probably just make them both rigid. It's interesting that we could do stuff like that, though. Okay, let's see how that feels. Oh, yeah. You can see how it, like, flashes on ground. Oh, I think this is probably when he addresses that, huh?
Oh yeah.
And you keep getting considered in the air and on the ground over and over and over really rapidly. I mean, he doesn't have it set up to show that anymore, so it's not as obvious on his thing, but... Okay. Upward motion turns out to be a little jittery, while downward motion is worse, because the sphere repeatedly falls a short distance, hits the platform, then falls again. This happens because by default, animations get updated once per frame, so the motion isn't synchronized with physics. We can set the animation to update each physics step by setting the update mode of the animator component to animate physics. Oh, okay. This is on the platform we do that?
Yeah.
This is in the animator component, update mode, or no. Wait, animated physics, update mode? Oh yeah, there she goes. Damn, alright.
It's weird.
That's a pretty good fix.
I did that though.
It didn't work for you?
Yeah. I guess I am.
I guess, I mean, mine isn't going as harshly as yours. Let me set that up. Let me do like a more jarring one.
What is your gravity? Is your just normal gravity right now?
Yeah.
Are you in a
9.8. Just regular gravity.
You're not using like any custom gravity?
Well, I'm using the gravity plane.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I could disable that and just turn on gravity.
Well, I mean, the outer gravity is really high up, so I don't think I was thinking maybe I was just like, I was in the fall off distance, so gravity wasn't very strong. But it is, unless, do you think he has, no, you have regular gravity, you're not doing double, right?
No. He did have double gravity in the box.
Yeah. Maybe that's necessary.
Well, let me try. I'm going to try it with a more severe increase. that's probably good. And then let's throw the player up there. Oh my god, I missed. How did that even happen? What? I'm right above it. What the fuck? Why is that? Why am I like moving to the side and missing it? Whatever, I guess I'll get the second trip. I am still getting that bit of jitter on the way up. And I did fall when the... I mean, you're seeing this, right?
Yeah. Maybe you said something about the rigid body?
He set it to is kinematic. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, mine isn't. Whoops. Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
Oh, wait. No. I didn't put a rigid body on this. Wait, what happened? I must have deleted it or something. What the fuck?
Lost the rigid body somehow?
I don't know what. That's so weird. I don't even know what I checked as kinematic.
Did you put it on your character?
Oh, it was this thing. I was gonna change this into the platform, and then I didn't. Okay, so this needs a rigid body.
You can't really jump while you're going up, but I guess that kind of makes sense. See, this actually, I just realized that fix that I put in about seeing if you jump and then you're on the ground immediately, just do the landing immediately. If I didn't do that, then right there when you jumped, you would have been locked in that jump animation.
Oh, yeah.
That still is a little goofy looking, but I don't know.
Well, it works now. I guess because...
The rigid body?
Yeah, like, because there was no rigid body, then it wasn't actually animating it with physics. That's what I have to imagine. That's a cool effect.
I'm noticing an error with my animation thing right now. Why does it goes back to the idle and then to the other falling instead of jump falling? Wait, do I even have something going from jump land to jump falling? Oh, I don't. Well, I guess that doesn't really make sense. Why would you go... Ugh, whatever. I'll fuck with that later. That's an off-stream issue. Now our sphere can stick to the platform while it's moving down. The platform's motion will appear jittery like every other physics object in motion, which can be solved by setting its rigid body to interpolate if necessary. Didn't we already do that, like, at the beginning of this? Yeah, it's already set to interpolate. Wait, what the fuck? Why do those little spheres move along with his platform already? I mean, not spheres, the little cubes.
They probably have friction, right?
I guess, yeah, let's try that. Let's experiment with that a little bit. So if I put...
He could also just be showing from ahead.
Well, I don't have a physics material at all on this can anyways, so maybe if I create a new one. And just max out the friction on it, just for the sake of testing.
And the mass.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, maybe, what if I just do the mass? Oh no, even if I do max masses immediately, it's not going to matter. How do I create a whatever, I'll just duplicate the existing one. That's weird. Why does the bounce one have max friction? I must have done that for a testing thing earlier and just never fixed it. What the fuck? Where should it go? Damn it. I guess I fucked the animation on this thing up. Oh, there's two of them up here. What? I thought it's the same animation. For some reason I thought when I duplicated it made a new animation for each of them. I'll just do this. I'll just make a new animation for this guy instead. Do the same thing. Oh, no. Oh, what? Why? Why is it just floating? Why? What? I guess use gravity was turned off on the can for some reason. Either way, it doesn't seem to have worked. Why does gravity turn itself off on this can right at the beginning of play? What is going on? What? Turn itself back on.
Do you keep turning it on when it's in play mode?
No, look, when I'm in scene mode, it's on, and then when I hit play, it turns itself off, and then it just floats. But then it falls anyways later. Watch it, and then it falls this time, I think. Yeah, and it's still not on. Well, maybe it's because of this, actually, the custom gravity rigid body thing.
Oh, yeah, it was asleep. It's asleep.
Yeah, there we go. Wait, didn't I uncheck this? Oh, I guess I checked it. Oh, what?
Yeah, it has to do with custom rigid body, probably.
It's kind of infuriating. Turn gravity on, float to sleep on. Whatever. I guess I could just, if I just turn that off, it effectively doesn't matter, I guess. It still turns off. Either way, I think that answers the question. Like, it doesn't, well, I guess it doesn't really answer the question, but it still is like, why the fuck is this happening? Like, I still don't understand why his rigid bodies are moving along with the platform and ours are just sliding. That's the ultimate problem.
He'll probably explain it. I really just think it's just him showing what he wants it to look like.
Our sphere can move along the surface of the platform, but it ignores the horizontal movement of the platform while standing on it. Other physics objects do get dragged along with the platform, unless it's moving too fast, in which case they'll slide and roll around. But our sphere doesn't have any grip, so it doesn't get dragged along. Its drag coefficient is 0 because it would otherwise interfere with our controls.
Maybe just turn off the custom gravity and try it with regular.
I already tried that.
Oh.
I guess I'm just gonna make a new object from scratch, and then why are you way over there? Okay, build that thing, then put a rigid body on it and interpolate. What is going on? Oh, well, I guess it's not being affected by any gravity. Yeah, actually, no, I need that gravity source. I need the custom gravity rigid body, otherwise it just floats. Okay, now it falls through the whole level. Oh. I gotta set that. Oh. Fucking God. So it turned use gravity off again. I think that's what this script does, right? It tells you to turn. Yeah, it turns use gravity off when it runs. So that's like the point. That's weird. I wonder if he went back to using normal gravity and just didn't say anything. I'm just gonna put normal gravity back. Okay, and then I can hide this alternate gravity source, and I can turn off custom gravity rigid body. Or I should just remove it, actually. Okay, they're both set to use gravity. Alright. It's gonna fuck up my character, but I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, they still just slide along the surface. What the fuck? Why does it just work automatically for him? Other physics objects.
You don't know it works automatically.
He presents it as if it does, though.
I mean, it's just one gift.
No, but he says other physics objects get dragged along with the platform unless it's moving too fast, in which case they roll and slide around. But like that just doesn't happen at all. Like there's just no, like they just slide off completely. Maybe the platform needs to have friction?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Didn't change it. Maybe it's because I didn't put a rigid body on this one. Or do you know something I don't know, Jesus? You've cracked the
They
code.
tried dropping it at an angle.
I'm gonna move my character down. Well, I guess that still won't help that much. Whatever. I'm just like annoyed with having to switch back to scene mode every time.
You can split them up.
Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. It's so bizarre. Do I just
Yeah, they
not
don't get
understand
pulled
how?
by it.
What?
They don't get pulled by it at all.
Yeah, there's like the only interaction it has is just like if something is blocking it or not. Like the horizontal movement means nothing. I guess do I just not understand how this friction works?
Maybe put the animator above the mesh collider.
Is there like a priority thing like that?
Yeah, sometimes. Not, I guess not for some stuff.
Is it the drag?
No, that's air.
Yeah, that's so weird. That it just like instantly so different. I guess I mean maybe we should just keep moving on and then whatever fix he does um, to the person we could also apply to the rigid bodies, you know? Let me read it again. Other physics objects do get dragged along with the platform, unless it's moving too fast, in which case they'll slide and roll around. But our sphere doesn't have any grip, so it doesn't get dragged along. Its drag coefficient is 0 because it would otherwise interfere with our controls. See, why does he mention drag?
Maybe it is drag.
Let me put some drag on. 0 means no damping. Or infinity. I guess I'll just put 50. I don't know. Oh, well. Now it's like it's falling in slow motion. Come on. No! It still didn't work. Oh my god. Angular drag? I
That's
don't
how
know.
easily it spins.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put these all back to using the weirdo gravity rather than default gravity for now. Cuz I don't think that's a problem. What does float to sleep do again?
I don't remember actually. I think it was so that they could go to sleep in the middle of the air or something. We did it in the gravity section.
So I guess let's make it configurable whether a body is allowed to float so it can go to sleep. It's a weird way to put it. Whatever. I'll just leave it on for both of them, I suppose.
Did you bring the mass up in the end?
Yeah. I came back down when I just undid everything, but the mass of the rigid body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if I just clear out the materials here too. Whatever, I guess we'll just see what his fix is and see if we could apply it to rigid bodies as well. It's just like, it definitely has me worried. Wait, why? Oh no. Why did it go back to floating now? I don't understand why they fucking float now. And then they fall. It's got to be a thing with the sleep. But if I turn off float to sleep, they literally float in place. But if I turn it on, they fall and then they float. Whatever. Whatever.
It works for me.
Really? Just dropping it on, it immediately works?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's good that that happened because now we have a.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Now we have like a course of action.
It has no physics material on.
You have custom gravity rigid body on and float to sleep is true or what?
Float to sleep isn't even a thing on mine. That's weird.
Custom gravity rigid body?
Yeah.
And yeah, I put the mask back down to the default now.
Mine isn't public. Was it supposed to be public?
Well, it's yeah, but I guess
Or
it
a
doesn't
serialized
really matter.
field?
Yeah.
Well, it's set to float or set to false by default for me.
Is there a problem with the gravity plane? No. All the other physics objects work properly, right? Well, I think what's happening is it's falling and then it goes to sleep because nothing's like messing with it. And then the sliding doesn't affect it at all. So it just stays asleep the whole time and the thing falls out. And then when it comes back, it nudges them a little bit and wakes them up. And then it moves out again. So if I fix the problem of them being affected by the horizontal movement, the sleep problem will fix itself as well. So I shouldn't worry about the sleep thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just set float sleep to true, and it's still working.
Okay. How did you create the platform? I guess give me the settings of that platform.
Yeah. I haven't made any physics materials.
Wait, I think I might have solved it. Oh no, I didn't. I just realized the mesh collider for it was set to concave. But that shouldn't matter because I was still able to jump on it. I don't know.
Wait, it was set to concave?
Yeah, it was not convex.
Oh.
Which you would think would be like, oh, there's no collision then, but I was still able to jump on it, so I don't get it. And they still bounced off of it. And it didn't change anything. They still slide off of it.
Well, I just have the platform is a Pro Builder, Mesh Filter, then Mesh Renderer, then Mesh Collider, Animator, Rigid Body.
Within Mesh Collider, do you have convex or convex checked on?
No.
See, apparently that doesn't matter. I don't know. You don't have any physics
Cooking's on
material.
mixed. Yeah. No physics material.
Animator controller is just the name of the animation. Update mode, animate physics. Is that it? Nope. Culling mode. I don't know.
Probably
I just haven't done anything
oh wait.
weird with my rigid
Is
bodies.
there rigid body on that?
Oh wait, no, there's not now. I added that on earlier though, and then took it back off. Let me try again.
Yeah.
Maybe now that it has the convex. Yeah, let's go.
Hey.
So is the convex and the rigid body together. God, that was way harder than it should have been. Or I guess I made that way harder than it should have been.
Oh, now we're caught up again.
Okay. Let's go. Connected body. To be able to move along with the surface it's standing on, our sphere first needs to be aware of that surface. In general, this means that anytime the sphere could be connected to another body that's potentially in motion, the first step is to keep track of this body, which we'll refer to as its connected body. There might be multiple such bodies at the same time, but that would be rare, so we'll limit ourselves to a single body. How would that even happen? Like, I guess
You're
sliding
standing on a yeah, you're standing on like a you're doing like a puzzle where it's a bunch of treadmills that are going out in different directions, and then there's also things that push you. So you're standing on the treadmills, and then things are trying to push you off the treadmills.
I could see that, yeah, okay.
Or I guess you wouldn't want to be connected to them then, but maybe if you're on a treadmill and then something wants to like pick you up or something. I don't know. It's true that it is very rare.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, you know what? If you had two meshes in a triangle shape, or two planes in a triangle shape pick you up like it's a, like two hands. You know what I mean? If you take two of them and like make a
and you're like in the
30-degree
corner.
angle. Yeah.
You're like in the little corner and it's sliding this way.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, either way though, you could just stick to one of them and it'd be fine, right?
Yeah, that's true. If they're the same, if they're moving the same.
Huh. I guess if they're doing like this kind of deal, they're like going offset directions from each other.
Yeah, that would be that's a difficult, like,
it's difficult to think
programming
of a use for that.
Yeah, it's a difficult programming problem and just like a difficult thing to even consider.
We'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Controlled by two things.
Maybe one day we think of a puzzle that we just think is so smart, and then we realize that like it ties into this problem.
You know what? I feel like Gmod has that problem. I feel like there's a bunch of times. Yeah, like if you're on a car or something. I feel like there's a bunch of physics problems that happen when you're like, maybe not.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe if you were like standing on a car while you were undergoing this connected body situation.
Okay, well, if the sphere ends up in contact with multiple, we just use an arbitrary body and ignore the others. Once the body is known, we have to detect its motion and apply it to the sphere somehow. Okay. We don't care why something is moving, only that it might. The idea is that all dynamic objects have a rigid body component, so we'll keep track of the connected body by adding a field for it to moving sphere. Okay. So just whatever is going to be moving and interacting with you, you can assume it's going to have a rigid body, so you can create this variable to like catch it. Moving sphere. There we go. And then he did this in... Was this in Awake? Oh no. It was probably just at the top somewhere.
Which part?
When he assigns their rigid body. Well, he creates rigid body. Like...
Yeah, that's at the
there
top.
It is. Okay. So now
I don't know where
body
this
and
up dot
connected
is
body.
though. Up dot is...
What's up dot?
We have two very similar. We have two very similar if statements that almost fucked me up.
Oh, like they look the same
Yeah.
from the one that you're trying to compare it to?
Ah, there's 3. Almost fucked me up. 4. Almost fucked me up.
Don't fuck me up. Don't fuck me up.
I'm getting fucked up.
Oh, but yeah, I also fixed my Visual Studio Code actually showing errors now, which I can totally see why that like derailed your programming experience for a while. That was a fucking nightmare to fix.
I mean, it's the equivalent. I feel like to have it off is only if you could write working code down on paper.
Yeah, you're just a genius.
They
make it so hard. You would think that would just be like in settings, like show errors on. But I was like, I had to dig so deep. I downloaded like 4 different programs that were supposed to fix it that all had file extensions that I've never seen in my life. So I was like, what the fuck do I even do with this? And then I found another website that was like, here, put this in your Visual Studio Code and it'll update it. And it wasn't a download. It was just like a line of code that they wrote. And they were like, here, just take this. And they didn't tell me what to do with it. So I didn't know where to put it at all. And then somebody's like, oh, well, just reinstall Visual Studio Code. So I did. I wiped it, reinstalled it, and then it was exactly the same. It remembered all my extensions and everything. So then somebody said, like, oh, well, this program is a Visual Studio Code clone. It's exactly the same, but it doesn't have the tracking. So I was like, okay, if I download that, I'll have all the default settings. Didn't work. Had the same problem. So then I was like, okay, let's just reset Visual Studio Code back to the default settings. Didn't work. So finally, it was like a thing in Unity that I had to do, which made like no sense to me, but that fixed it for some reason.
I think I remember having to do it in Unity, but I would not have remembered that until I heard it.
Yeah, it's because it's dumb. Like, how is that a Unity problem? It's Visual Studio Code is what's causing the issues here. They're 2 separate programs, but somehow they're connected in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I had to reinstall it and then add like a Unity extension to it. But I
already had the extensions though. Like,
I have what's it
made
called?
It even more confusing. Oh, and then I started trying to. I was like, whatever, I'll just use Visual Studio instead. But that one also didn't show errors, and it was like white. It was like this super bright, blinding light, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it into night mode. And I was just like, I can't do it. I'm losing my mind. It took me like 3 hours.
So I'm noticing a little error in my code, I think.
Yeah. Something
I think it would make sense because I think I noticed I feel like there was an issue with what's it called? My ground contacts, but I couldn't really figure out what it was. I just felt like every once in a while I'd see like, wait, was that supposed to happen? I feel like that
the ground
I was expecting
contact
something
count?
else. Yeah, possibly. Like, or I guess I've noticed stuff with like my jumps, but
do you think you've narrowed it down?
Maybe. Either way, I just want to check your code. Like, where are you writing this next line?
I put. Oh wait, you mean? Oh right, okay.
Yeah, that one.
If we detect a ground contact and evaluate collision, we can simply assign the rigid body property of the collision to our field. If the other object has a rigid body component, then we now have a reference to it. Otherwise, it's set to null. Note that the component doesn't have to be attached directly to the object we collided with. We should be colliding with a composite object that has the component somewhere higher up in its hierarchy. So I'm going to copy that line. If up dot is greater than min dot in evaluate collision.
I think I found it because he said it's an evaluate collision. I had it just be greater than.
Right there, right? Or is it under
Yeah.
greater than? Yeah, greater than or equal to min dot. Oh, wait. Yeah, mine's just greater than as well.
Oh.
I guess I'll switch it to equals. That's weird. I feel... How do we both make that same mistake? I feel like it's more likely he made the mistake. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so ground contact count plus or equals 1. Ground contact normal. I'm going to put a comment for that just so in case I am like pulling my hair out for some problem like a week from now, I can come back to this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not to assume that I know more than this guy because I'm sure he'll address it. But the way I'm thinking about it right now, the way the system is going, like if you were falling through the air and then someone like threw a rock at you, wouldn't you just like stick to the rock and go flying? Because you're just detecting if it's a rigid body that you're colliding with, right?
Right now it is, but I think
He'll be like if you're standing on it or something like that, I guess.
I think the literal next line is only when the ground contact count is 0.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I'm sure he's gonna address it. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. Maybe that would work just how it's at right now. Or no, because we don't do anything with connected body yet.
Yeah, I was assuming that if you did the rest of the system but left this part as is.
Yeah.
Note that by simply always assigning the connected body, we replace any of the previous contexts that counted as ground. So we end up keeping track of the last evaluated ground body. This is fine because the collision order is arbitrary, but tends to be temporarily stable. We might end up on a slope instead of ground. We should also keep track of the body in that case. However, we should prefer the ground over a slope, so only assign a slope body if there isn't already a ground contact. I need to read that over. Note that by simply always assigning the connected body, we replace any of the previous contacts that counted as ground. So we end up keeping track of the last evaluated ground body. But we might end up in a slope instead of ground. We should also keep track of the body in that case. We should prefer the ground over a slope, so only assign a slope body if there isn't already a ground contact. So basically every contact you have is getting stored in ground contact count, and the connected body thing is also being stored in that same count, and it might cause some overwriting. But if you don't put this check in for the slope, then it'll also overwrite slopes, and you need to have a separate thing for slopes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's just because he wrote something in this first section that deals with flat ground, and then he has the second like he only has 2 cases in this method, so it makes sense that he'd want to update the other case as well.
Okay. Well then, if ground contact count equals 0, which means you're in the air, connected body equals the rigid body. Right? Huh. So I guess if your ground contact count is 0, but you're still colliding with something, it's probably a rigid body. That's confusing.
Well, it's within this evaluate collision where we input a collision.
So
So
if
it's
you're
not
colliding with something and it's not ground, then it's a collision? I mean, then it's a rigid body, I guess. Shouldn't we also put if it's not a slope?
we did in the first bit, right?
I guess that's up
The
dot is
up
greater
dot.
than min dot.
Yeah,
Okay.
because min dot defines the slope.
Okay. All right.
Shouldn't we always use a slope if we don't have a rigid or we don't have a connected body yet?
Ah, I'm glad you asked.
I don't even get that question.
Well, I guess he's saying if you're colliding with something and you don't have a rigid body you're connected to and it's not ground, shouldn't you just assume it's a slope? But he's saying no because the ground might be static, in which case it won't have a rigid body component. In that case, we'd be standing on unmoving ground and shouldn't be affected by a moving slope that we happen to also touch. That
I
is a
guess
little
the idea,
confusing.
I think the problem that he's trying to solve is moving along, moving down a slope, like sliding.
I guess.
We shouldn't be affected by a moving slope.
That we happen to touch. So it's just like you're standing on flat ground and then a slope just like comes by.
So he's talking about if the moving platform has a slope. If it's like a moving ramp.
Do you think that causes issues right now?
It might push us up to the top of the ramp or like drop us down. No, it would push you up. I think if you put someone at the bottom of a ramp and the ramp moves towards them, they will be at the top of the ramp.
Oh, you're saying like moving left and right. Yeah, I'll test both. That's a good point. I guess these are probably going to... I think these are just going to slide off, right?
Probably, yeah.
Should I flip the... whatever?
Huh.
I get kind of pushed down it. My character does at least. When I'm going up. Oh wait, and then when I'm going down, I'm getting pushed up it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a little weird. Yeah, watch this one.
Yeah.
That one's bizarre. Yeah, that's what you're saying, huh? That's not what how I would expect that to behave. Bizarre. We can also keep track of the connected body if we detect the ground and snap to ground. So this is so that if you get off of it and then hit the ground, it still keeps track of that connected body, like it remembers it.
I think he's just adding like an extra step. Not even an extra step, but like an alternate way to get to the same connected body. Like it's possible for snap to ground to catch it before evaluate collision, I guess.
Oh, so if it snaps to a rigid body and not just like ground, then it would also store it.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, reset the connected body to null in clear state. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's just like updating all our methods to also have this contact body or connected body.
Knowing that we're connected to a body during the current physics step is not enough. We have to be able to figure out whether we've remained in contact with the same body since the previous step, as that indicates that we should have moved along with it. So we need another field to store a reference to that previous connected body. It should be set to the current connected body before resetting that one. So it's just keeping track, like longevity, making sure you consistently stick with it as time goes on, kind of deal. And then clear state. So in clear state, it clears the current one, and then sets, or no, it takes the current one, puts it to the previous, and then deletes the current one. So then you move into the next one, get a new one, then you have current and previous, and then it does the same thing, pushes it, overwrites the old one, deletes the first one. Just like a linked list or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's also store the connection velocity in a field. While it's not strictly necessary, it's convenient. Set it to 0 in clear state. So is that so that you can change what your velocity is while you're connected to something, like independently?
Yeah, I guess so. It's I imagine it's more for like using that value for something else later on.
Yeah. It'd just be
Like
interesting if
maybe
you
a
could set it
launch.
up so that like once you like if you step on this platform that's moving, it'll just fucking like fling you off hella fast.
Yeah, like
Jump
Mario
pad.
Kart.
Yeah, speed pad.
Yeah, you could probably implement that
Now,
into what we
there's an
have.
easier way to do that, I would imagine. But I don't know. Because couldn't you just have a volume that just like once you overlap with it, like double your velocity or whatever?
Yeah. But that doesn't also clear your state. I don't know. You could make it clear a state.
Oh yeah, no. This is definitely a much smarter method. It's just maybe not for that one use case.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is my velocity? God damn it. I can't find the definition of my velocity. This shit getting... There it is. Getting a little crowded. Contact normal equals steep normal equals connection velocity equals velocity 0. Okay, so now we have a variable that stores what body you collided with, a variable that stores the body you collided with previously, and a variable that stores the movement you'll experience while you're connected. And we have them all resetting every time clear state gets called. Determining motion. If the connected body were a free moving physics object, then it wouldn't have a velocity. But in the case of a kinematic animated object, its velocity would always be 0. Why is that?
Say that again? Or where?
Determining motion. If the connected body were a free moving physics object, then it would have a velocity. But in the case of a kinematic animated object, its velocity would always be 0.
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense because it's like not controlled by physics.
Oh, it being kinematic means it's just pushing it.
It's just like updating its position every frame.
Okay. That's a little confusing because like hearing kinematic immediately just makes me think of like the kinematic equations and like physics. So hearing that
Yeah.
like a moving object has no velocity, like it's just like firing off warning signs in my brain. So we'll have to derive the connection velocity ourselves by keeping track of its position. Ah, big brain. Add a field for that and set it to the connected body's position in a new update connection state method, which will invoke at the end of update state if we have a connected body. So we'll connect to this thing and keep track of the position. I guess the thing. Yeah, I guess we calculate it immediately upon hitting it, then, or upon stepping on it.
Yeah.
So we step on it, it starts moving, and we say, okay, it was here at this state and here at this state, so it has this velocity, so apply that velocity to the player. And it just does that infinitely every frame. Not infinitely. Over and over every frame.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess that makes sense. It's a little out there. I wouldn't expect to have to derive position like that. I mean, velocity like that from the position, but
Yeah, usually it's like originally we started this by like setting the position and then just getting the position from displacement, which we got from velocity, which we got from acceleration.
that is
So this is
true.
just doing this backwards.
Okay. Well, we'll create a connection world position, and then within update state, we'll call update connection state if we have a connected body. Why is it in update state and not fixed update or just update?
Um,
Or wait, is update state even one of the ones that fires over and over, or is that like a specific method? No, that's a specific method within fixed update.
yeah. So it could be in fixed update,
It
but
basically is. It's just like a
yeah.
okay. One thing I really miss about Unreal that I'm not sure if there's really a way to get it to work in here is how I could, as the code was running, as the program was running, I could have the code up on my side screen and it would like light up the functions that were in use and like the connections between them and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's really a way to do that here, but that was super nice for debugging.
Yeah, you have to set them up. You'd have to set all the debugs up individually. So it's like if it's running, then fire this debug. And then I guess you'd also have to like gizmo draw lines between stuff. I don't really remember that function though in Unreal. I didn't do that much programming in that.
I mean,
The
yeah, it wasn't really
casting,
functions, it was more nodes, I guess, that I was
yeah.
talking about. I never did any actual programming. All I did was nodes. Um, okay. But we should take care not to stick to light bodies that we collide with. Otherwise, we could end up automatically moving along with them as we push them away, effectively launching ourselves. That's like, it's like the troll logic thing. Like, stand on a
Yeah.
platform and then pick up the platform and just fly up.
Prop surfing.
Yeah. Um, we can avoid that by only updating the connection state if the connected body is kinematic or is at least as massive as the sphere itself. What is the sphere? What is our mass? I guess our mass is like irrelevant, right? Like we just overwrite that. Like we're gonna keep moving regardless if the mass is 100 or 1. It's just how much you interact with other objects. So I guess that's assuming we're going to have to take our own time to kind of mess with the character's mass a little bit. Because I think by default it's still 1. So I'm going to up it to like 5 for now. Just so that I'm actually different from all the default rigid bodies. Because I feel like otherwise this wouldn't really work. Okay, just throw another if inside of that. So if you've connected with the body, and if that connected body is kinematic, or if that connected body's mass is greater than or equal to your character's mass, then update the connection state. Okay. The movement of the connection can then be found in update connection state. You okay? A dog just freaked out out of nowhere. The movement of the connection can be found in update connection state by subtracting the connection position that we already had from the connection's current position before we update it. Its velocity is found by dividing its movement by the time delta. So we're subtracting its actual position minus its world position.
I think we're. Or wait, where do we set world position? Yeah.
The connection
equal
world
to-
position.
Oh yeah, that's just an update connection state, and it's connected body position. So
Well, that gets set after now, though. I guess it's the previous.
yeah, I think the idea is that you're doing it right before it gets updated, so you get the difference.
And then you use that difference divided by the time to get the velocity. Wouldn't it be multiplied by time?
Well, the delta time.
Oh, okay.
So it's delta position over delta time, and so that does equal velocity. That's calculus.
Smart. Yeah, because change in position over change in time, the delta cancels and it's just position over time. Is that how that works?
Yeah. I mean, kinda, yeah. Basically.
And then position over time is velocity.
No, I mean the true thing is dp over dt is velocity.
Okay.
They don't really cancel, but they do in terms of like they do on like a second to second basis.
But that calculation only makes sense if the current and previous connection bodies are the same. So check for that. Otherwise, the connection velocity should remain 0. Okay.
Oh, that's smart.
Good check.
I wonder what he ran into.
Yeah, that probably got some weird behavior, yeah. I guess if you were just sliding on a thing and then you ran into a different thing, and then you would just keep sliding in that direction or something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if he like turns the physics step way down to check some of this stuff.
Sounds smart.
Because this is on the physics update.
Yeah, that's true. Movement.
So you would see the previous. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. movement relative to connection. At this point, we know the velocity of whatever we're standing on. The next question is how we incorporate it into the sphere's movement. In reality, when you step from something that's moving onto something that's stationary, or vice versa, you'll have to compensate for the sudden change of relative motion. This takes effort and can be difficult if the change is large. If it's too large, you'll end up falling. Also, if you're standing on something that accelerates, you have to brace yourself, otherwise you'd fall as well. Finally, it should be possible to move at maximum speed relative to what we're standing on. Note that this could lead to a world space velocities that exceed the configured max speed, like when you run alongside a moving train, or run inside a moving train. That's fine though, right? That's normal. The simplest way to model all that is to make the sphere accelerate to match the speed of whatever it's connected to, on top of accelerating toward a desired velocity relative to the connected velocity. We can do this in adjust velocity by subtracting the connection velocity from the sphere's velocity and use this relative velocity to determine the current x and z velocities. Thus, the sphere's velocity adjustment becomes relative to the connection velocity, while everything else remains the same.
Wow.
That is so smart, but I feel like I barely... I get it, but like... I don't think I would have ever thought of that. That's so smart.
That's how like the stuff in Rust works, like the balloon and the big helicopter, like standing in those.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You just like make the new make the new velocity. Yeah, you're just subtracting this the platform's velocity from the other velocity, the player velocity.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Oh,
and this actually
fixed the slope thing too.
Oh, cool.
Look at that, you can just walk. I mean, you still jitter, but oh no, never mind. That's me. That's my fault. That jittering is a me thing. Ignore that.
Oh, it's the rotation thing.
Yeah, I still haven't fixed that. So yeah, other than that, that's actually... I think that actually fixed... well, there is some up and down jittering, it looks like. I don't know if that's rotational or not. Whatever, fuck it. I'm gonna go check out the other thing.
The next section is called rotation.
Ooh.
This is really smart too, because it changes the original thing, but like simultaneously doesn't. Because we're using relative velocity, which is our velocity, which is what we're using before, minus connection velocity. So if there's no connection velocity, it just stays the same.
Shit, how do I get up there? I'm gonna have to... I got it. I mean, honestly, that could be a mechanic too, what I just did. Like, if you can duplicate props in the world or something like that.
Mm.
Look at me! Wee! That's so funny how much you take shit like this for granted. You know, like, I guess, I mean, we have thought of this a little bit, but like when games don't compensate for that kind of shit, you just go like, they didn't think of that, and then just
it's not that kind of game.
Yeah, then you completely move on. Like, but like, I don't know. I guess I don't really know where I was going with that.
I noticed that Destiny has a working script that does what this does, but doesn't put it on all the time.
Like some things you'll slide off of, and some things you won't.
There's some stuff where you stand on it, it just does not.
How would you even do that in our system? Like, I feel like there's no way to make that even work.
Yeah, that might be a good. That might be a good implementation.
Make a mask, or it's like
maybe, or no, you turn off the rigid body, and then it doesn't get the position.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
It would still have the collider, so you'd still bump into it, but you wouldn't.
Look how she rotates to face the direction she's going in. That's
That's funny.
So yeah, this is a very good indication that my system
Oh, moving over here.
I put for this is not the right way to do this.
Wait, which way am I going? Okay, good, good.
Imagine how annoying this would be in a game. You're like, I want to look. I want to look over there. Stop! I can't. She's just like, no, I'm going this way. I'm looking this way. Fuck. Okay. Our sphere now tries to match the velocity of whatever it's standing on, but it is limited by its own acceleration. The sphere will slide a bit before it matches the platform's movement, and if the platform accelerates quickly, the sphere might slide off if it cannot keep up. Thus, walking on something that accelerates quickly can be awkward, which matches reality. This can be mitigated by increasing the mass acceleration of the sphere. Yeah, let's push this. Let's push it. I want to get a little weird with it. I want to see if I could find any flaws.
There is like a tiny bit of sliding.
Do you have it as? Oh well, yeah. He did say that there's a little bit.
Oh, okay. I guess it is equalized, like it's not pushing me towards something. It's just pushing me one way and then pushing me back. But I wonder if you could use this as a speed boost.
Yeah, look, this one is gonna be good. This one's flying quick. Oh my god! Whoa, it's too fast.
Wait, does this cancel your velocity?
What?
Like, if you're going really fast and land on it, do you think it would... It does that relative thing. I wonder if it actually... I wonder if it splits your velocity at all.
I made it way too fast. I can't even do any testing with this. I don't understand why there's a second object like inside of it. Yeah, what is that thing? What the fuck? Fucking Cube 15? What are you doing, man?
I haven't turned off a trail renderer in a long time.
Yeah, I turned that off after I switched to like the character approach rather than the ball. Oh, I don't have a rigid body on this thing. Oh, I think I also have to do the convex. Yeah, for some reason this fucking thing decided it wants to do the same animation as that. Remove that component. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I'm getting camera frame drops or something. It feels like the camera's a little... keeps like readjusting.
You could definitely use it as a speed boost. I just like flung myself a little bit. I guess, yeah, can I look at their speed?
Probably have to print it.
Well, I think if I make it public, I could just see it in the editor, right? Oh, I guess, yeah, that's not like a speedometer. That's just what, yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, it is behaving a little weirdly, though. I would expect you to stay a little bit more stationary than this. Like, if you look at the square that I'm supposed to be, like, staying within, like, you drift at least, like, a whole square. Maybe he'll clean that up, I don't know. Oh, it does, I wonder if we can make it take into account, like, if you're jumping on it. Because right now, if you jump, you get kind of, like, left behind by it. That's another classic video gamey thing I notice a lot. So if you could make it so that you could jump and you'll, like, it'll force you in the direction, like, the jump velocity will be relative to the movement velocity. I think that
What
might
if you do it when it's
something
like
he
at,
actually
at
does.
its highest speed?
Its height speed is probably the midpoint between the two, right?
Yeah.
I kind of went with it, yeah.
I just noticed you were jumping like when it was at 0 every time.
Maybe it is kind of working, yeah.
I feel like our code doesn't update for like, or it updates pretty quick. I feel like it keeps it and then it throws it away right there.
This is fun. You can't touch me, blue square. This is so annoying that she turns to face the direction it moves in. That's so irritating. Like, just trying to play. Look, I just slid off. What the fuck? Let's do some weird shit. What if I, like, collide with the side of it? Oh, look at that. I can just force through it. That shouldn't
But
happen.
yeah.
What if I just stand still? Okay.
Probably because your mass is really high and the platforms is really small.
That's a good point. Let's make the mass. I'm gonna make the mass of this thing like 50. It
Nope.
improved it. It still happens though. Weird.
I wonder if that has to do with collision. Or sorry, not, I mean has to do with the thing we just added.
Yeah, like would that have happened already anyways? I feel like it probably would have happened already. I don't know. But yeah, look how much you drift like a lot on this. Look, I just drifted like 4 squares. All right, well. Well, maybe he said you can mitigate it by increasing the max acceleration of the sphere. Maybe if I turn up my acceleration a little bit.
Yeah, it is kind of, it leaves you behind when you accelerate.
Well, my acceleration was already 60. Yeah, I didn't really change it. Is that happening for you? Like, are we having the same problem?
Mine was really small, but I did notice a small slide.
Like keep track. Like, try to stay in one square.
Yeah, I was doing that. I was using the lines.
Yours is way less than mine, but I feel like my thing is moving faster than yours.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, whatever. We could probably just move on. If this becomes like a real problem, then we'd have to do some adjustments down the road. What if I make the movement of this thing linear? That might make it a little bit easier to play with the movement stuff. I should try this too. Let's see if it interacts with rigid bodies as I would expect. Wait, why are they like sliding along its top now again? What did I do to fix that? God damn it. It's convex. It has a rigid body. It's kinematic.
The physics, animate physics. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That was a dumb thing.
I didn't change that though. I should have. That actually might smooth out some of the jitteriness on my character. You did specifically say to do that, and I forgot to. Oh, I think that might have actually done it.
Does it still do the thing where you go through?
Oh, that was my miracle cure. Good call.
Nice.
It just fixed all the problems I was having.
Awesome.
Well, the briefcases. Oh, I guess they're just going under it, huh? Yeah. It didn't fix the drift, though. But whatever. That's pretty satisfying how it dealt with those physics objects. Where are all the cans? Yeah, there we go. Give me the cans. Oh, I was gonna say, I remembered why I wasn't. Do you remember when we brought up Silva Gunner because we were talking about the John Madden thing? And I was like, why am I not subscribed to this guy? I remembered why I wasn't subscribed to him. Well, first of all, he posts like 6 songs a day sometimes. He just floods my subscription feed. He posts so much shit, and I think it was like 4 days ago he went on this crazy like binge of posting like every single one of his songs was a Gangnam Style remix. And I was just kind of like, okay, this is like it's overflowing my timeline. This is way too much.
That's amazing how much
Yeah,
work
it's
it makes that.
impressive that he put in so much work, but I'm also just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, this is working like perfect with the rigid bodies at least. This is like that coin game.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I've been on this for like 20 minutes.
it's okay. We have like one more line of code and then we're done.
Rotation. While our current approach works for straightforward movement, it doesn't allow rotating surfaces yet. To demonstrate this, I created yet another platform with its own animation, this time rotating 360 around the y-axis. I made the rotation continuous by setting the tangents of the animation curve to linear. In case of a rotating connection, we cannot suffice with tracking its position, as it's not affected by its rotation. We have to also keep track of the connection position in the local space of the connected body, because that point is effectively orbiting the body's local origin. Okay. Connection world position. Where did I put that one? I should just search it probably. What? It was right there at the bottom and I missed it? From now on, we'll use this sphere's position as the connection position in world space instead of the connection's own position. This is the point where we start tracking. The connection location position is at the same point, but in the connection's body's local space. But in the connection's body's local space, which we find by invoking an inverse transform point to the connection's body transform component. We do this at the end of update connection state. Okay, so just overhaul that whole chunk at the end of update connection state. Is this in the if statement? Yeah, it is. Okay. The connection movement is now found by converting the connection local position back to world space, using the current transformation of the connected body, this time using the transform point method. Then subtract the stored world position from that. If there wasn't any rotation, then the result is the same as before, but if there is rotation, then we now take the orbit into account. That's so cool. This is like, we say this every time, but this is just like a whole mechanic we're being handed, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's really, that's a fun thing. Our sphere now, well, I guess I should test it first before I move on to the victory lap. I guess it doesn't matter actually if it's like perfect or not.
I forgot that Pro Builder's pivot is around the corner.
Oh yeah, that's what's happening to me too, huh?
It is still rotating though, so I wonder if that'll work.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so fast.
Chop, 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 chop.
Hey. Okay, too fast. Oh, I got the launch.
Oh yeah, angular moment, dude. If you go on the edge of it.
Fuck, this is hard.
Whoa.
If even if you get multiple jumps, it's like very hard to get on the surface. Damn it.
Our sphere now accelerates to keep up with the rotation, but note that it doesn't adjust its orientation to match. Effectively, it automatically reorients itself to keep looking at the same direction, as our sphere never rotates. Also note that rotation can result in high velocities. The further away from the rotation center you are, the faster your orbit speed is. If rotation is fast enough, you'll get flung away, either getting ejected from orbit quickly or slowly spiraling around. Okay. Complex animations. Because our approach doesn't care how a surface is moved, we're not limited to simple animations. We support all complex animations and scripted movement. We also support movement on uncontrolled physics objects, though that can be awkward, just like walking on unstable ground in real life. Another way to create complex motion is by building an object hierarchy with multiple animators on it. You can put multiple physics objects in the hierarchy as well, but keep in mind that you do not want any object with a rigid body to be a child of another such object. That will produce weird results. Okay. So I wonder, what if I like went up in the sky and put myself on top of a rigid body thing, and then we're both just falling at the same rate? Do you think I could just walk along it, kind of thing?
Maybe. You'd have to turn off is kinematic.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I
If
don't
it
know
was
if
just
it,
in free fall,
yeah, if it wasn't animated at all.
and if I got to make the mass higher than 5 as well. Let's give it a go. I guess I probably would just... I'm just probably going to float away from it, actually. We're just going to fall at different rates. Oh shit, it doesn't have a... There we go. Whoa, look, I'm just walking along it. Are we even falling? Oh no, we're not falling, that's why. Oh well, we are actually, just really slowly. Because
Yeah.
we're out on the edge of the gravity source. Okay, well I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to stand directly in the center.
You should try and lock rotation on the plane.
I don't know, this is kind of a fun mechanic, though.
It is cool. So are you tipping it by standing on
Yeah.
the corners? You are, yeah.
Oh, now it's just losing me completely. Yeah, that was like a Fall Guys moment. Like, look at that! I'm just standing
Yeah,
on
oh
it.
my God.
That's so cool. And I could just like walk along it. Fuck!
Oh, you jumped on it.
I missed the level. That's fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could do like, oh, imagine if you have like a ground pound move that just goes like poof
Yeah.
and like flips it.
It is
Oh,
really
I
cool.
have a move. I have the gravity force move. I wonder how that would interact with this thing. Boom. Oh yeah, it does work. Boom. Oh shit. Well, that wasn't really helpful to me.
It is really cool to have a movement thing that defaults to staying on instead of slipping off.
Yeah, that's the better. That should be the default for sure. Let me see. I turned my acceleration all the way up to 100. Oh, well, actually, did it even stay? Yeah. Let me see if I could bring it back to 60 and it'll behave the same. It's funny because like every time I do an adjustment, it's like gets more extreme on the next wave. Whoa, what happened? Did I hit something? Oh, I think I hit the
Maybe,
planet. Yeah. What's gonna happen? Actually, yeah, this thing's just gonna. I'll get you. No. Damn, I can't believe we plowed through that whole thing.
Yeah. That kind of I learned something today about how Unity like defines planes, and I think I want to rewrite my kill script, like my kill plane script, now that I understand it better. I think that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow for a little bit anyway.
This is so sick. Fuck. Well, I think you were saying to lock the rotation, huh? Let's try that.
Oh yeah. It'll just
I mean, I guess
you'll
I
just
can predict
land.
what's gonna happen, but. Well, she.
Elevator.
Oh my god, yeah, this is. Well, it's a physics driven elevator. You're just falling.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then if you hit anything, you'll just like bounce off of it, I guess. Yeah, look at that. I just. Because the rotation is locked, so. Can't really do anything about that. Hey, no. Get. No, god damn it. Fuck. There we go. What if I do my boost move? Let me get onto the planet and then boost, move it off, and then jump up and catch up to it. That's the play. Oh, I just push it. Okay. Aw, damn it. Did I just crash? Oh. Well.
Well,
Yeah, I'm just having fun. I think we're good. I think we're definitely done at this point. We're not going to move on to
GGs.
climbing or anything right now.
that was cool. Did like a force blast.
Oh, I missed. Oh. That's one of the things on my list I wanted to figure out was fall damage. And now I feel like that would be sick. What if you had like an explosive force
Yeah.
whenever you take
I was
fall
about
damage?
to suggest that.
Why F like is the worst key. Every key is the worst key. I tried so many keys for the explosion force thing, and I kept running into like, oh well, space is used for this and left click is
Double
used for
tap.
this.
You gotta figure out how to do.
Well,
a
no,
double
but it's like
tap
if I hit
space.
F while my mouse is in scene, then it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
work. And then if I hit F over here, it also doesn't work. So I have to keep my mouse within the game window and hit F for it to work. And that's not true for WASD or space. And I can't think of any other. I guess I probably could find some keys. Q and E. You remember Q and E does this? Like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like so tempted to just say fuck it and start working on like mechanics like making fun level things, but I want to have a solid movement system first. So I feel like I don't know if it's like a healthy mindset I'm having on it, but like because I feel like I would have a lot of fun just making like I don't know like coins and like fucking bounce pads or you know vents that you could teleport through. Or just all kinds of little like level design things. I want to do that kind of shit, but I want to have my character's movement down first.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I could definitely see some rewriting having to happen later in the movement tutorial
Yeah.
because what the last one is rolling.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna need that. Well, I'll do it. Maybe I should make a model of Julia like rolled up in a ball, and do like the Metroid thing.
That could be cool.
So this is the X rotation, and then this is the Z rotation. So if I just leave Y to freely rotate, that could be kind of nice. Because then you could just spin as you're falling still. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, this is like it's like that map in Bayonetta. I mean, not well. I guess it is, yeah. But I was thinking of the Smash map.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
That's
is
true.
from
That
Bayonetta.
is what it is. That is what it reminds me of. I was trying to think what game has this that I remember.
This is not working
Oh.
how I thought it would.
The other one I'm thinking of, there's a Metal Slug, like, little scene, basically, where that kind of happens. I guess that's more the free-falling elevator. No, you know what it is? It's from the fucking Dragon's Lair FMV game that I'm thinking of. That I just watched, like, yesterday.
What? Damn it! That's like the wrong axis. What axis am I supposed to leave unlocked for this to work the way I have in my mind? I guess this is the last option. No, yeah, this just doesn't work the way I thought it does, I guess. It'd be cool if you could climb, if I could grab onto that thing and like fly away with it, like in Breath of the Wild. I hope the climbing tutorial allows that kind of shit. That would be fun.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. That's an obscure...
It's a very funny. I just remember because they give you QTEs for every platform that you pass. Oh, this one? This one? Yeah.
This is not the song I was thinking of. God, there's so much Bayonetta music in Smash. I thought there was going to be way less than that. Oh, wait, I think this is the one. No. What the fuck? What is this song?
It's gotta be whatever has the most views, right? If it's like the
I'm thinking of the one that goes like boom, 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 boom.
I don't know.
God damn it. This might be it. Well, I guess this is Smash 4. I was thinking of the Smash Ultimate. I just played Smash Ultimate recently and I heard this song. That's why it's so, like, fresh in my brain. I guess it's probably the same music, though. Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. I'm very glad to finally find it. It took way too long. There you go. It's all for the bit of me just falling on it that I've done already.
It was very funny as the you're like run in and out.
What?
There was a second when you were running across and it just showed her like running from one side of the screen to the other on that.
Oh yeah, on the scene view. Yeah, that is funny, like the fixed view, someone just running by.
Yeah, that's always funny.
I guess this is like their orchestral. Oh, it's an instrumental one. So it's not actually the same one. What is it called? Tomorrow Is Mine. What is it on Smash 4? Yeah, it's still the instrumental one. It's not instrumental in Smash, is it? Oh, I guess they didn't. I guess I just heard the vocals in my head when I was playing it. Because on both of them, it's just the instrumental cut. But whatever. That's the jam. We did the whole fucking thing in one session. That was very good. Good work. So now we have another mechanic working under our belts. So I have a lot of shit that I need to sort out with my character still. But nevertheless, I mean, it's still, you know, we're making good progress. We're getting a good setup here. Like, we have some solid mechanics. So next time we're gonna do climbing, which is pretty exciting. I might have to prep some climbing animation beforehand. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that might be a lot of
jank.
extra work.
I guess for now
Getting
she's
that
probably
set up.
gonna just stay in her idle pose and just slide up the wall. Because for you it's gonna be normal because it's just a ball. You know, that looks fine.
Yeah.
But for a character it's like way more awkward. So I think I'll do that first, and then on my own time I'll add in all the animations. Because I would hate to make all the animations and then I misunderstood his implementation completely, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. We're gonna go ahead and end it here most likely, and we're gonna come back tomorrow with climbing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.